You are tuned into Be Bold Radio, breaking barriers over lives daily. This is the place for you to learn strategies and tools to turn your business, your dreams, and your goals into a reality. Thanks for tuning in to Be Bold Radio. This is your host, Dymeata B, and you're listening to episode number 124. In today's episode, we are talking about protecting your peace. Let me just ask you guys a question while you're driving, getting ready for work, or at the gym, whatever it is that you're doing. Are you protecting your peace this year? Have you made a decision to protect your peace? So the question is, are you protecting your peace? Have you made a decision to protect your peace? And my third question, who is it in your life that you need to protect your peace from? And I'm asking these questions because these are questions that I have had to ask myself. And I had to be brutally honest with myself because I have been in situations where I felt the need to please everybody. I felt the need to give an excuse or give some type of explanation for the decisions that I decided to make. And it's very unhealthy. But this year, when I tell you I am just in a whole new vein of protecting my energy and protecting my peace, I wanted to share with you what I've been doing to protect my peace. And it's a daily exercise, and I'm doing it by any means necessary. And it may touch and hurt a few people's feelings. It may rub people the wrong way, but what's most important is my mental health. What's most important is my physical health. What's most important is my spiritual health. And so this year I am taking control of my peace, my energy, my space. And so I wanted to share with you guys in episode 124 on protecting and what ways you can start protecting your peace. And so I'm going to go from the last point and work my way up to the first point. So if you're taking notes or if you're jotting it down in your phone, I want you to practice this with me because I think this is very important to keep in your mental, physical, and spiritual life balance. And it's not going to always be balanced, but this is a way that you have control. You have control. So the first one is, or number 8, it's 8 points. The 8th one, or the last one, is taking time out for you. This year I have dedicated taking more time out for me. And it's important because, I'm in the potty training part of my life and it is not easy. Let me just add that it's not easy at all. And it takes up a lot of my time during the day. So my whole schedule has shifted, just everything. And I'm just believing God for some more wisdom on time management because, there's things that still have to get done. But he's been really, really giving me grace to handle and to do and fulfill my responsibilities throughout the day, but it's not easy. And so it's important that I make time during the week for myself. I am a better woman. I'm a better mother and a better wife when I take time out for myself. And sometimes it's the times that I go to the gym. I love working out. I love going to the gym. Though that is my time, sometimes I just go sit at Starbucks and read. That's my personal time where I can say, this moment belongs to me. It belongs to me. And then I get back home and I'm refreshed and I can be present in the moment and I can love on my children and not be anxious and not be uptight because I didn't get any time for myself. And so, and it's also important that, I share my time, but I cannot share and be the best person that God wants me to be for my family if I'm not pouring into me and taking time for me. And so I remember not too long ago, since we moved to Charlotte, I went to Starbucks and I just sat, cut my phone off and just sat at Starbucks, had my laptop and just read. It's important that I do that. For me, that is part of me unwinding and regrouping and recalibrating That's part of mine. Now, in the future, this year, my goal or our goal is to do more vacationing and more times, having more times of relaxation, because we did not do that in the past few years because we were grinding and, grinding and working hard and trying to get our business or build it, our business. So the eighth one is taking time out for you. I want you who are listening, if I don't care if you're a man or a woman, take time out for you. If you are in a relationship, it is important that you take time out for you. What is it that makes you feel relaxed and makes you feel, or makes you feel like you can be still and be in the moment before anybody else gets connected to you? Do that. Get yourself quiet. Meditation. What I've also been doing in taking time out for me is journaling. I don't journal often. I used to do it years ago, and I've been telling myself for the past 2, maybe 3 years that I'm going to start back journaling. Well, now 2020, I'm finally getting back to journaling. I'm not committed to doing it every day, but I know when I feel it, when I feel like I need to write down what I'm feeling and my thoughts, then I get my book out and I begin to journal. So that's it's sanity for me. It's good for me, and so that's what I've been doing to journal. And so I encourage you, write things down or get a recorder and talk it out, but take that time out for you. Number 7, unplug from social media. This is how you protect your peace and your energy. Sometimes it is good to unplug from social media. I have several social media platforms. I have over 5 businesses that have social media platforms and social media sites. And it is important that I unplug. I'm telling you, it is so important that I unplug. People are pulling on me every day. And I love blogging and posting and encouraging. But also, there is so much negativity on social media. So many voices and opinions on social media. So I've been unplugging. People do it the 1st of January. I do it when I know I need it. When I know I need to just detox from social media. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care who did this. I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care, who went to jail, who got arrested. That stuff it's oh my God, it's just full of negativity at times. Hey guys, I want you to log on to justbebold.com and order my latest book, The Power of Focus. In this book, there are strategies that will give you the mindset to achieve all your goals. This is your opportunity to learn my secrets to living your dreams by adopting this mindset. I encourage you to follow my method and apply it for a complete transformation. This is your opportunity to unleash your power of focus and be among the greats. Log on to justbebold.com and order The Power of Focus. Again, that's www.justbebold.com. And so I pull away from DMs and inboxes and retweets and all of this stuff and the sharing the stories. I pull back because I have to protect my peace. And I feel so centered right now in my life because there's times, even though I have to advertise and I, that's my thing. I advertise on those platforms for my businesses. But however, you just have to be in faith that when you get back on there, that's your moment. That's your moment. But God, I believe that He wants us to unplug sometimes and just be in His presence and get back to us or get more productive, be more productive. So number 7, social media, unplugging from social media from time to time. And it's good to do it once a week or, some people take 30 days. That's fine too. It's to each his own. There's no time limit or time restraint on how long you should unplug. But I know for me, once a week is good for me for the entire day. Also, lately, I've been giving myself time windows to be on social media. And it's so natural, we pick up our phone. It's very natural for everybody to just thumb Facebook or thumb Instagram. And I've been disciplining myself not to do it. There was a time that I would just take it, erase it from my phone. And in order to get on there, I would have to upload it back to my phone and or download it back to my phone. And that took at least 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes, my attention span. I'm thinking about something else already. So that helped me. And I don't have the issue as much as I used to, but I used to be on Facebook all the time. Used to be posting like every hour. And then I began to schedule my posts. And then after scheduling my posts, it got worse because I was commenting, or engaging with everybody. Well, now I cannot do that. I don't even have the time to do it anymore. And so I've just been committing to unplugging once a week and setting time windows throughout the day. Number 6, learn to choose your battles with people, whether it's with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, with your parents, with your coworkers. It doesn't matter. Learn to choose your battles. Not every conversation, your opinion is not needed. You're probably right. But I think that choosing your battles is healthy for keeping and protecting your peace. It's just healthy, guys. Some people they're very contentious and they love to argue. They love strife. And you have to learn when to walk away and not even engage in it. Learn to choose your battles. Is it worth the fire? Like, really, is it worth the heated conversation? Ask yourself that question. And if it's not, dust your hands off and move on. But I believe that in relationships, it's important to choose your battles. My husband has taught me that it is important to choose your battles. You don't always have to be right, even though you're right. You don't always have to vocalize, or if that's a word, you don't always have to make that other person know that you're right. Which leads me to one of the other points, but I'll get into it in a few minutes. But just learning to choose your battles. Choose your battles. Number 5, not entertaining or engaging in negative conversation and gossip. We have to learn how to shut our mouth. Don't egg it on. Don't entertain it. Don't even ask questions. There is a particular person that anytime I would talk to this person, it was always gossip. It was always about something, an update about somebody, what they did, what they didn't do, and I found myself entertaining it, 1, by listening, 2, by engaging in it. What? Are you serious? You lying? We've all done it. And it became draining to me. And so now I'm at the point where I know the person, I know how they are. So I just keep quiet. Honestly, I just keep quiet, and it's amazing how the energy shifts. How, it's amazing when you're sitting with people and they're gossiping and you're not commenting, and you don't just do it. If it's somebody in your life that, they love to talk about other people, they love to gossip, watch how the energy shifts if you stop commenting or if you stop instigating. Watch how the energy shifts, because it does. It does. I've done it and I'd continue to do it. It does. And when I don't engage in negative self-talk or negative conversations rather, or, demeaning other people and putting other people down because of their insecurities, when I don't engage in it or entertain it or allow myself to be an ear, they shut up. They shut up. The more you continue to feed the dog keeps coming back. So you stop feeding it. You stop entertaining it, playing around with it. And it'll stop coming back to you, because it knows it's not going to get any food from you. So just watch the conversations. That's how you protect your peace and keeping your mouth off of other people. Number 4. So I gave you number 8, number 7, number 6, number 5, and we're on number 4. Fighting to be understood and right all the time. Just stop fighting to be understood and stop fighting to be right all the time. That's how you protect your peace. My dad used to always say, seek to understand. I know he got it from a book, but I can't remember the book, but he quoted it. Seek to understand, not to be understood. And at a young age, I didn't really understand what he said, but it has stuck with me and into my older days. And now that I'm seeing, seek to understand the other person's perspective, not to be understood. And when you can understand where they're coming from and say, hey, but you don't have to understand where I'm coming from. I get it. Now I get it. I get where you're coming from. Now I know I probably need to shut my mouth, but seek to understand, not to be understood. And when you do it from that posture, there's more peace in a conversation. That's why I said that it ties into choosing your battles. When you choose your battles. Like, I don't want to argue about this. Choose your battles. So, of course, number 4, stop fighting to be understood and right all the time. That's something that I've had to coin because I've always had to have the last word. I would get so frustrated with people because they didn't understand where I was coming from. And I've been in a season of healing in my own personal life. And it's like when other people aren't healed, I get frustrated at them because they're not coming from a healing place. And I am. And so I'm trying to get them to understand where I'm coming from. And now I don't. Now I understand why they're still hurt, why they're still bleeding, why they aren't healed. Now I don't fight to be understood. I'm there to help and to understand where they're coming from. Number 3, getting up earlier to get centered with God, getting in the presence of God. Before my day starts, I love to worship. I love being in the presence of God. I mean, at a young age, I practiced it. I remember, being 19, 20 years old, waking up 3 a.m. and just sitting in the presence of God and really cultivating a relationship with God. And I didn't know that it would have such a great impact on my life now. But at a young age, that's what God would always wake me up in the middle of the night. Everybody would be sleeping. I just would cut on the worship music and I would just cry out to God and journal. And so, and I would speak and prophesy and just speak into my future. But now I'm 40 years old and I have children and I'm a wife and I have obligations. I've had to discipline my mind and my body to get up. And now I get up when the kids get up and my husband gets up and I'm praying and I'm meditating and I'm just talking to God and getting in his presence. It's so imperative that I do that because it sets my day. It sets the tone of my day. You ever, everybody who lives in an apartment or a home or wherever you live wherever, if you're going to work, you have an office, it doesn't matter. You always see the thermostat and you're either the thermostat or the thermometer. The thermostat is you set the tone of your day. And you set that thermostat at 75 because when you get back home from work, you want it to be nice and cozy when you get home. So you set the tone, you set the atmosphere for your day. And this is how you protect your peace, getting up and getting in the presence of God and meditating and talking and communing with him. It is important because you want him to take control over the things that you have no control over. You want him to give you solutions to problems that you could not solve by yourself. You want him to give you the grace to handle all of your responsibilities for the day. So the way you do that is you get in his presence and you talk to him. Just like I'm talking to you on this podcast, you talk to God and you let him know that you need him and you're nothing without him and you cannot do it without him. And so that's how you get centered and just worshiping and putting on peaceful songs and music. That's how you protect your peace and your energy throughout the day. You set the thermostat. Now, the thermometer is you adapt to whatever temperature is in the room. And that's not always good because there can be negative energy around you, whether it's at work, whether it's with a baby dad, whether it's whatever it is. You adapt to whatever temperature is in that room, and that temperature controls your day. You don't want that. You want to set the temperature, and you want to take control over your day. So you have a choice in protecting that peace. Okay, so just getting up a little earlier. I've been getting up like 10 minutes to 6 or a quarter to 6 at times, and I just get up. And sometimes God wakes me up earlier than that. It's been many times, he's been waking me up earlier than that to talk to him, to pray, to set the day, and so I'm just saying, set the day, set your thermostat. However you want your day to go, you can navigate through your day, and you can tell your day what you want to happen. Don't let your day tell you what's going to happen. So it's good to get up earlier in the day while it's quiet. The phone is not ringing. Nobody's mowing their lawn. Nobody's ringing the doorbell. Those are times and moments that you can get clarity for your day and for your future. So that's number 3. Number 2, speaking positively over yourself, even in times of discouragement. Now, I know that can sound hard to do, but it's important to speak positively over your life and over yourself. Good, healthy self-talk is so important, especially in days like this. There are many people that are taking their lives because they are speaking negatively. Not only is the world negative, but they have a negative outlook on themselves, and it's what you're saying to yourself every day that is determining how you see yourself. And so it takes discipline, and the way you protect your peace and your energy is avoiding negative self-talk about yourself in times of discouragement. Yeah, you had a bad day, okay, but talk to yourself. Be your own coach. In my book, Press Through Your Mess, I talk about being the coach of your life. There are times that you have to talk to yourself, even when you're losing in the game. There are things that you need to begin to say about yourself and over yourself to change the narrative of your life. And so it's important, in order to protect your space and protect your peace and energy, you got to avoid negative talk. So begin to speak positively over your life, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of how you feel, and regardless of what you're facing. Okay, so, and then number 1, this one hits home for me. Not always answering your phone and text messages when it's convenient for other people. For me, I battled with that a lot, trying to answer the phone for everybody, because there was a time I was not the best friend. I was not great at answering my phone. I don't like talking on the phone much. I think ever since I got married, everything shifted for me. Like I didn't have time. I was caught up in love. Yes, I didn't understand the importance of having balance and keeping my friendships cultivated and nurtured. But at that time also, I think everybody was, people were still in college. People were still doing them. You know what I mean? I was in a whole nother bracket. I was married now. All of my friends were single, and this was a whole new life for me. And so I got caught up in it. And then when other people, when my friends did start coming back around, I didn't know how to balance it, So I'm saying all that to say, now that I've matured, I know how to balance my friendships, but I also know how to set boundaries with my friendships. I cannot answer the phone each time my friends call. There was a time that I was, and it sucked up all of my time. I mean, I'm texting back and forth all through the day. I cannot do that every day. That's draining to me, and I am angry at myself when I do it because it has taken up my whole day. I can't think. I'm not, completing things that I need to complete. I'm just so unproductive. And so those times that I've done that, I've not done that in 2 years. But when I was doing it, my goodness, it took up so much of my time, my day, my thinking. It's just, I cannot do that. And so now I set boundaries. Text messages, I'll answer them when it's convenient for me. It's not an emergency. If it's not somebody in the hospital, an accident, a death, then it's not really an emergency. You know what I mean? Like, everybody needs something from you, but you can't be there for everybody. And I had to learn that. And it's important to set boundaries. Now I use the app called Marco Polo. I love that app. One of my friends introduced me to it a few years ago, and I just started using it maybe a year ago. And I'm so grateful for it, or less than a year ago. I'm grateful for it because I'm able to still stay in contact with my friends. Now, from time to time, we do shoot each other text messages or we'll call each other up, but we don't get to talk on the phone for long. One, because we all have lives. We're married, we're engaged, we're traveling, we're working, we have children. We have lives. And so it's just important that not only you set boundaries, but you know how to balance your boundaries. And so you have to master not answering the phone every time somebody calls you. There's a particular person that will call me, and they'll call for a particular question, ask a question, but next thing you know, it's an hour long. I don't have a whole hour to talk about the same thing we talked about the last conversation. I don't. And I know that sounds selfish, but I'm very, very protective of my time because I don't get much of it throughout the day. My time goes quick, so I set time for podcasting. I set time to market. I set time to package and to, work on my products. I take time to read, I take time to spend with my daughters, take time to spend with my husband, and I take time to spend with myself. And most of all with God. So if I'm giving all my time to answering phone calls and text messages, then I'm out of balance. And I'm not at peace. And so the way I'm protecting my peace and my space and my energy is not answering everybody's phone call. And just because you got off of work don't mean I got off of work. You get what I'm saying? People feel like, oh, you don't answer your phone. No, it was convenient for you because you called me. Now, my heart is to return the calls when it's convenient for me. But if it's not feeding me, if it's not, what's the word? If it's not feeding me or edifying me, then I cannot give everybody my time. It's just important for me not to give everybody my time. So if it's something that could be communicated in a text message, let's text. If it's something that we need to talk and dialogue verbally, then I will definitely find time to do that. But I know the difference. I'm very discerning on the difference, and you need to do that too in order to protect your space and your peace. So I know that this podcast was very, very informational for you, but it's also, this is a moment where you can begin to protect, guard, take control over your peace and the energy that you allow in your space, because everybody don't come with the same vibration, the same energy, the same frequency where you are. So for instance, I tell my friends all the time, we got to be on this frequency of faith. So we're not talking faith. We're not talking, and it's just like you riding in the car and you're on a road trip and you're listening to the radio. Well, once you go on a whole nother side of the world, the frequency changes. The radio stations change. It may be still on that station, but the frequency has changed. It's the same number or station, but it's a different frequency. And so, yeah, we're the same friends, but we're on different frequency levels. And so if we're not on the same page, then you need to recalibrate and you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to kind of like rehash different friendships, connections, and relationships, because you want to always be protecting that space and that peace that God has given you the authority to protect. So that concludes our podcast for today. Until next time, continue to believe, be original, and live your dreams. Are you a leader, entrepreneur, author, or speaker? Did you have a lifestyle change that you want to share with the world? Do you have some helpful health tips that could change our life? Well, be a guest on the Be Bold Radio Show. email us at beboldradio@gmail.com. Again, that's beboldradio@gmail.com.